from all around Geelong. I'm here to tell you how football is strong.
And welcome back. And yes, this afternoon our games are on again. 2014, magnificent season. We're really looking forward to it. A magnificent launch at Buckley's Entertainment Centre last Wednesday night. Really got the season off to a flying start. But this afternoon, it's all back in action again. And we're talking about the game just before, and it's a 94.7 match of the day. And of course, it's between the Geelong West Cheetahs and the Werribee Centurions. Grubby, I'll let you open your account. You don't know much about what's happening at Werribee. We don't know what's happening at Geelong West. But who's going to win?
Well, I don't know. I do know a little bit what's happened at Werribee. I've been over to training a couple of times. We've picked up a couple of pretty good players. Matty Smith won Hoppers Crossing's best and fairest last year. Martin, that's his dad. I forget his name. Young Fletcher, anyway. Ben Fletcher, very good player. Mitch Merrifield. They picked up quite a few good players from the Western region. They've lost Toby Bray, and they've lost, of course, a big loss. The biggest loss is Lovell. Nathan Lovell, or Nigel Lovell, as Eric called him, is retired. So, look, on their form, they played North Footscray, they were scratchy. They played Ocean Grove, they were terrible. And last week, as Nick witnessed, they were very, very good against Melton. I'm not quite sure, I meant to ask Nick, I'm not quite sure that West played any practice matches, which Bellpost Hill have made an art form of, but I'm going to go for Werribee just because I'm from Werribee, basically.
Oh, that's a pretty good summation, mate. Alex, have you got something to contribute there, mate?
Well, look, Grubby mentioned the practice games the Centrals won over. When you play a North Footscray who have averaged a 200-point losing margin the last 2 years, wouldn't use that as quality opposition. Nevertheless, the Centrals come in having played in September or late August, the GDFL fixture, so I will have to go with the Centrals by 10 points.
Well, there you have it. So a big game on this afternoon. The opening, well, we had a big one last night with 94.7 the pulse, of course, but the big one on this afternoon, 94.7 the pulse. It's between the Werribee Centurions and the Geelong West Cheetahs out at the Western Oval. Another big game on this afternoon. We saw some fantastic footy flashbacks early in the show from their great encounters back in the early 90s. It'll be no different. It's always a big game out at Footrot Flats. It's the North Geelong Magpies up against the Anarchy Roos. And just before we talk about that game, great to see my good mate Noel Tucker back in action again. He's had a rotten summer and he's been crook, and I went and saw him a couple of times, and just to see a couple of photos of him up and back again with his granddaughter Alana and his lovely kids, it's really great to see. Great man of football and much loved person around local footy. So Noel, good to have you back, mate. Now who's going to win out of the Magpies and the Roos? Well, say something nice about North Geelong.
Well, obviously, most of these games we're going to have to go on how they finished last year and their last year's form until some of these sides start playing different football and telling us any better. So obviously you have to go for North Geelong. I think one of the only players or decent players that I can see they've lost is, I think De Blasio may have gone. With Anarchy, Anarchy have lost two of their best players to North Geelong. Pittman and Stevie Rickett, the interleague captain. So, see, that's a big loss. I don't know if they'll cover them. I think Kenyon's come in and Daniel Berg's back. But, look, I don't know how they'll go for the year, Anarchy. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm pretty sure they've got the hardest start to the competition.
What do you reckon, Alex? It's always a great game out there, but particularly the hamburgers at half-time. They're the best part. But I did hear a little rumour that Blake Hodnar is actually standing out of football for a year.
And what hang on, rumour files, we've locked one in round
Lock it
one.
in.
Do we have any sources as of yet?
Well, would you think that a man like me could tell you something that's not right?
Well, when I put him on our grand final footy show as our Colts player to watch, I think I earned some bonus points there.
Yeah, might get a tick for that
well,
one, mate.
Nevertheless, you want my prediction, I'm guessing.
Yep.
And on this occasion, I'll go with North Geelong. Like Grubby says, perfect list management by Doggy Ryan over the off-season. He's got some of Anarchy's greatest, most promising players of the last couple of years. But to make one of our netball girls happy, earlier in the morning, I'm going to tip Anarchy in the Colts. But again, North Geelong by 5 goals in the seniors.
Yeah, but I'm tipping the North Geelong Magpies, and I'm tipping the Sponges at half-time. That's not the committee. Will be absolutely magnificent. Artie Audrey does a great job getting those on the table. Don't you worry about that. Great game indeed, great venue. Okay, the next game on the card we're going to talk about, it's out at the Bellpost Hill Footy Ground, the Ring Road Recreation Reserve, and it's the Bellpost Hill Panthers lamenting after their grand final loss to the North Geelong Magpies, and they take on Inverleigh. And I'll start with you, Alex. They would love to get their season off to a good start.
Oh, so would I. As you recall, I was donning the blue and red kit on the grand final show. I did meet with the Inverley's new coach over the pre-season. I was impressed with his new fitness regimes. Nevertheless, we're up against a powerhouse in Bellpost Hill, and they're my final tip by 40 points this afternoon, Dick.
Grubby, Bellpost Hill in the league.
Well, first, that's number one.
Thank you.
The sponges joke. You use that 3 times a year, so that's one. We'll just keep a tally of that.
That's 17 years in a row too.
That and your dry cleaner are the only 2 jokes you actually know. But look, obviously, again, we'll go on last year's form. Bellpost Hill, they played in a grand final, only a few goals away from the 4th premiership. And Inverley played a lot better towards the end of the year after they got rid of Smitty. But they were struggling when they had him. But they come good. They won a couple of games. They got themselves off the bottom of the ladder. Remind me, Phil, I just want to put my glasses on for a minute. Inverley, Billy Nichols is out in Inverley. Now, I think I saw that in the clearances. So
Yep,
I think he's gone out with Mark McDowell. So good luck to Billy. And I think De Blasio, has Justin De Blasio gone out there from North Geelong?
I'll let you know.
All right, well, that's what I found. I'll tell you what, I think Bellpost Hill are going to have to find some players because they've lost Symes, they've lost Holsfeen, Lewis, Tobin's gone, so they're going to have to start again, and they may go down a little bit, but we'll just have to wait and see. But I think they'll win this one.
All right, now we're running out of time as we normally do. You've been talking too much, Grubby. Out at the Kevin O'Leary Oval, it's the East Geelong Eagles, and they take on the Tommy Tigers, the local derby. I know I say that every year too, but it is the local derby. It's the Eagles and the Tommy Tigers, or Derby, as the producer tells me.
Oh, well, what would he know, to be quite honest? Easton Thompson. Well,
We're running out of time.
I'll go for East. A couple of players. Clayton Trotter gone to East. I think out is Carr. Jesse Mawson's probably the biggest loss in the competition other than Lovell.
You've done
a
your research,
big loss. And Fernandez. Thompson have lost Douglas. Luke Forbes is the biggest of all time. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And Hayden Forbes as well. Normington was a good play. He's probably going back to Newton Chilwell. I'll go for East.
Righto, Alex, Corio and Belmont Lions out at the Devils Playground. Who's going to win that one?
Well, I wish Barry O'Toole the best of luck for his first game as coach, but Lions are my final tip. Hopefully they'll have a better season under another new coach in David McKernan.
Thanks very much, mate. Okay, as we're running out of time, but a couple of things. Firstly, Stephen Edwards, I love it, is playing his 100th game for the Belmont Lions this afternoon. So well done, Steve. Fantastic job indeed. Yeah. And you've been a great acquisition to your club. Good boy, well done indeed. Now, don't forget the 94.7 match of the day is on this afternoon. And of course, it is the Werribee Central Centurions taking on the Geelong West Cheetahs out at the Western Oval. So make sure you tune into that for a great call by, well, somebody anyway, probably Grubby. Are you going to do that?
Yeah, it'll be myself, Jason Doherty, if he turns up. He was supposed to be here tonight and never fronted.
Well,
This morning,
I'm getting lost with our first show of the year.
There we are.
And I think Dale Smith is going to help us out too.
Is he back? Because he didn't get another coaching job, did he?
Well, would you give him one after the last one?
Oh, hang on a sec.
It's been our first show. We've enjoyed your company. We'll see you all again next Saturday morning. And bye.
We are the Raiders from all around Geelong. I'm here to tell you how football is strong.